Here are a few words on past weekend tactical digest. First of all, about Tottenham and Tottenham's midfield, which failed the task despite three key players getting back to form. For the match against Liverpool, Agne Postecoglou fielded the most conservative combination of the central in the field. Three midfielders started were Yves Bissouma, Pape Sarr, and Rodrigo Bentancur. Probably the main reason was to add relatability to the team, which had begun conceding goals in bunches. The calculating didn't pay off. On the contrary, Liverpool created better moments for them from the midfield. Here is an indicative map of the points from which zone they were made and the hosts made passes under pressure. The majority precisely from Tottenham's midfield. Liverpool didn't always intensify their attacks. The pressing held it a lot, but Tottenham really struggled to contain them numerically because they didn't play in such combination at all. Never ever before. The trio of midfielder poorly shared responsibilities. They didn't know how to play. They didn't understand who should advance and who should cover. The situation was averaged by Liverpool's introduction of two creative midfielders at once. Not only Mark Callister, but also Harvey Elliott playing in the same zone. Intensity, Tottenham managed to improve during the match but adding players to the midfield only by reducing the number of midfielders. Initially, Postecoglou reduced them to two, and the final stages were played with just one Bissouma. With a more technical midfield, they started to control the ball better, bring it forward less often, and finally create their own moments. On the Liverpool side, there was one more star, Cody Gakpo. Now he has shown himself in a successful match. Before that, Gakpo was a flash on the crisis Liverpool. In a successful match against Tottenham, he showed himself especially brightly and not only excellence from helped, but also a role which Jurgen Klopp gave to him. In defense and pressing, Gakpo acted as a central player in the attacking trio. In transition phases, he also often opened up in the center. And in positional attacks, he went to the flank, familiar from his PSV role. It was there that he most often met the ball, and it was there he was most dangerous. You can consider the assist in the first goal indicative. Cody organized a soft cross to the far post. That was his trademark from Eredivisie, where the attack was complemented by Mo Salah. At the same time, in prolonged positions, when Robertson filled the flank, Cody returned to the penalty area, and such a role revealed his strongest qualities at different stages. All of them multiplied by his main trump card, timeless of actions. Yes, the match was almost exhibition, and let's go. It would be okay even without Gakpo, but just before the arrival of Arne Slot, who knows his capabilities well, it's extremely important to show Cody Gakpo's trademarks. Now, a few words about Chelsea, which is now introducing a false fullback to the world. Marc Cucurella is adapting to this role. Chelsea finally revived. In the last three rounds, they played against the teams from the top of the table. They gained even 7 points out of 9. They took opponents in each game, and the ratio of clear movement in this segment was 12-4 in favor of Pochettino's team. The successful strike coincided with the absence of Enzo Fernandez and the change in the role of Marco Cucurella. The events are interconnected, and in the fact, the Spanish man began to perform the duties of Enzo in the midfield. Without the ball, he still plays as a classical fullback, but with the ball, he turns into a true false fullback. And that's a classical movie for many modern teams. He moves towards modern Moses Caicedo in the middle and helps with the plays. The structure is really classical. It's 3-2 in a starting phase. Cucurella's transition to the midfield itself is not the key reason for the progress, but his role definitely affects Chelsea attacking potential, which is finally not tied to just only Connor Palmer. How exactly? First of all, Pochettino can now field not three, but immediately four attacking players at the same time. Maduke benefits from this, who starts from the beginning, not from the bench. The Englishman, Cole Palmer, can individually go. Secondly, Cucurella shifts free up Gallagher's hands and nominal Connor drops into the midfield. But when playing with the ball, he moves forward, becoming one more attacking option for Chelsea. He can continue to sting the opponents with dashes into the penalty area, and against West Ham, he not only scored but also hit the crossbar in such mood. Thirdly, Cucurella leaves Mikhail Mudryk. One on one with the defender, and the Ukrainian does not always break through classical dribbles, but can give a diagonal to the right and open up behind the defender using the lack of cover. Cucurella himself is currently the most impressive with his work in counter pressing. Against Tottenham, he even earned a penalty goal, even with joining pressing in the opposite box. Against West Ham, he also interrupted counterattacks really successfully, and that's a nice move from Pochettino, but also a problem to him for him to resolve because he now needs to place both 120 million signings on the same desk with Cucurella, who's really shining in this role. And now we are diving to La Liga, where the appearance of Porto and Couto in a match against Barcelona was definitely the best portion of substitutions of the weekend. They overturned the match. Girona brightly beat Barcelona and qualified for the Champions League. Before we sing the praises of Michael's key rearrangement, let's note that only one team was on the field for 60 minutes, and that was not Girona. Barca could pull away but didn't punish. And then came a powerful intervention from the Girona bench. Instead of David Lopez and Victor Tigankov, Jan Koto and Porto came on. Firstly, the composition became more attacking. Now Eric Garcia, a hybrid right back previously, moved to the center, where the most classical Lopez originally played, and the flank went to attacking Koto. Secondly, the dynamics of the zone changed crucially. Initially, Eric Garcia, who participated in combinations but didn't cover the bro, and Tsigankov prefers to receive the ball in his feet and move to the center for combination, acted there. There was a lack of openings behind the wingers and width from the fullback. Roughly speaking, there was no emphasis on this zone. It was used only as an anxiously construction tool, but not for intensification. Porto and Kyoto gave the described qualities, and the zone became the target. The effect was phenomenal. 1-2 turned into 4-2. Moments came through the updated right flank, and Porto participated in all goals. It was not only the level of players and reorganization that played, but also the hose of Barca, the hose in John Cancelo's zone, basically the zone between Kubarsi and Cancelo, which is a great problem for Xavi's team in the past matches, especially against PSG and Real Madrid. The crucial failures came right there. Cancelo is weak in defense, and Kubarsi is not good as a covering player, uh, but he's 17. And the opponents aim at their zone and almost all benefit. The case of Girona is simply the brightest and most radical, but that is, as for now, the biggest problem in Barcelona lineup. That's the most interesting fact, and also congratulations to Real Madrid. With no problems winning Cadiz, they earned the title.